What's up, y'all? Listen, I promised I would come back and give you guys my holiday Hoover video. And the reason that I wanted to do this video is because I've watched several different videos from a lot of different content creators, and they explain what the holiday Hoover is, but they don't give like real life examples and real life scenarios. And I kind of feel like the behaviors a lot of the times need to be discussed on this channel, because some of you guys may be experiencing the same stuff. And if you guys have gone through the holiday Hoover, I want you guys to jump in the comment box and like explain some of the details of what you guys experienced, so we can kind of just match it up and see if we have experienced similar stuff, or just give some insight to some of the newer people that are new to the channel, or are new to learning about narcissistic abuse. So I just wanted to give my personal experience with it. And then, I want to get some feedback from you guys to see if you guys have experienced anything like this, anything worse than this, or, anything that is, relatable to this. So, so we can kind of give a good idea of some of the behaviors that we're dealing with behind the scenes. So first, I want to say everything that the narcissist does is very strategic. Everything that they do, even the discard, everything, like from the love bomb to the discard to the Hoover, everything is done very strategically with them. And I just did a video explaining that the narcissist likes to use plausible deniability. They like to be able to, have an out. If they do something to you, then they want to have a way out of the situation of just saying like, oh, I didn't mean to, or oh, it was a mistake, it was an accident. And so they like to play stuff off that they did intentionally, as if it was something that was done, by accident, or that was just done unintentionally, and it wasn't no malice or harm or anything behind that. So I want to preface this video by saying that my son will be 3 years old coming into February. Going into February, my son, at the very beginning of February, my son turns 3 years old. So in this 3-year period, you could imagine the amount of events that I have missed, like the amount of parties and things that I have missed from dealing with a narcissistic individual that just won't co-parent, right? That just won't include you in on the things that you should be included on, and all of that kind of stuff. So over time, at the very beginning, it was like crushing me, because I'm like, dang, I wanted to be here for this event with my son, or I wanted to be there for that event with my son, or that kind of thing. But over time, you start to fall into your role of parallel parenting. And I'm gonna do a separate video on parallel parenting too, because somebody basically jumped in the comment box and was asking, what is parallel parenting? And it's a lot of definitions going on, but I do, again, want to give you guys some insight to what it actually looks like doing it from the inside out. So basically, going back to my son, there's been a lot of different events that have happened since he's been born. Like they took a trip to Disney World. I knew nothing about it. I didn't get any pictures on it, any of that kind of stuff. And the only reason that I knew anything about it is because his mother posted it online. And when she posted it online, some of my relatives saw it, and they were just commenting like, oh, AJ went to, Disney World and that kind of thing. So it was kind of like, I had to find out through third-party situations. And the only reason that I found out even through third-party situations was because it was posted on social media. Now, the narcissist is going to continue to play a hot and cold game with you, especially if you have children with them. Because I feel like one of the reasons why they had children with you or got married to you or whatever the case may be is you were a good enough supply. You probably are like grade A supply. And I feel like they wanted to keep you on the hook for some reason and utilize you later. Like the discard is fake. Everything with them is simulation, basically. So it's literally like when they discard you, they're planning on coming back to pick you up. And the reason that they pick these type of people is because these are the type of people that they want to have some way of being able to connect with later on in the future. They see some value in you. They see something in you that they want to keep on the hook. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I was targeted. I feel like I was definitely targeted to basically have a baby with this person because she wanted to have her cake and eat it too. But she knew that the only way to keep me around was to try to, you know, lock me into some type of position, which that still kind of blew up in her face. But, you know, I guess the way that she thinks, you know, from a controlling standpoint, well, I'm going to lock him in with this baby and he's going to have to deal with me regardless, you know, and that's kind of the mindset that they have. So again, like I said, I wanted to preface this that my son is 3 years old, or almost 3 years old. And then not only with him being 3 years old, this is also coming from the same woman in the same family that sent my family. This is during the gender reveal, you know, like I see, and it hurts me to my heart to see gender reveals, you know, online when people post gender reveals, because I had such a terrible experience with the gender reveal. So when I see people, I don't want to like hate on other people's situation, but it's like that situation was completely robbed from me because the narcissist and her family members and her friends was basically just being trifling. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no reason, no rhyme or reason behind what they did to me. But basically what the narcissist did in my situation is they sent myself and they sent my entire family a flyer for one location. So when we get to this location, nobody's there. Like I'm walking around and I'm asking the managers and I'm asking everybody, and I'm like, hey, you know, we're here for the gender reveal. Me and my family is there for the gender reveal, but we're looking for her and her family, and none of them are nowhere to be found. So I'm looking around and I'm asking around, and the manager at the spot, he's like, nah, we don't have anything scheduled for today. I actually show him the flyer, and when I show him the flyer, he caught it before I did that basically they was lying and they sent us to the wrong location, because I just could not fathom that somebody would do something that horrible, you know what I'm saying, for no reason at all. Like, it was literally no reason at all. It wasn't even like I had done anything to her and we were arguing. Like, it wasn't any of that kind of stuff. It was literally just, she felt like, you know, I don't know, you know, what was going on in her head. Maybe she felt like my family was going to look at her a certain type of way or be able to see through her, or maybe I was just getting too close for her comfort, whatever the case may be. But as soon as she got pregnant with my son is when the switch happened. You know what I'm saying? In her mind, it's like that switch went off and I was enemy number one out of nowhere. And I was like literally still hanging in there trying to be a good teammate, because number one, I didn't understand the switch. I'm thinking, well, maybe she just hormonal because of the baby and this, that, and the third. So I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, not understanding narcissism at that time. But, you know, over time I started getting, you know, educating myself and watching videos like these. And that's one of the reasons why I do these videos, is because videos like this help me get to where I am now in my situation. So I just want to share the wealth and share my own experience and share my own, you know, insights that I have dealing with this, because I am still, you know, not only have I gone through a extensive series of narcissistic relationships, but you know, I grew up with a lot of things that happened in my childhood and stuff like that that probably opened me up to being susceptible to narcissistic abuse in the future. So basically, like I said, I just wanted to preface this video with those details right there before I start getting into the actual hoovering. So what the hoovering started to look like. Now, number one, I want to explain to you that, like I said, if you're in a co-parenting situation, or you are in any type of situation where you're locked in with the narcissist or toxic individual, they're not going to stop playing the hot and cold game with you. So it's almost like they don't ever stop hoovering. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you have children with them. And what I mean about the hot cold game is like, okay, like one Father's Day would come around and my son's mom will give me, you know, Happy Father's Day, best father in the world type of gifts. And then the next Father's Day, she won't even acknowledge that it's Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Or like my birthday will come around and she will try to, you know, give me a gift on one birthday or something like that. And, you know, that's, I guess, when she's in her stage of like trying to be nice and trying to get some supply through sugar. You know what I'm saying? And then she'll turn sour if I don't respond to that, or because basically I've been gray rock, no contact, basically, and all of that kind of stuff. So because I've been gray rock, no contact, and I don't respond to the positive things, then here comes the negative. So it's always this hot and cold push and pull game. So right around, I'm just gonna go back to Halloween. This Halloween now, my son is getting old enough and he's starting to be able to like recognize characters on TV. So I took my son to a party that my cousin had at his house. And when I took my son to this party, they had the caricature of Spider-Man there. And so I was telling my son about Spider-Man, and he loved the guy in the costume and everything. He was following all around, and he just had a good time with Spider-Man. So when we got home, I started finding Spider-Man on YouTube and, you know, Netflix and stuff like that. And I started letting my son watch it because, you know, he had just saw Spider-Man at this party. And since he just saw Spider-Man at the party, it's like, okay, well, let him see Spider-Man on TV, and, you know, he can kind of get acclimated to who Spider-Man is and all of that kind of stuff. So I showed him Spider-Man on TV, and he's like been Spider-Man crazy ever since. And this is another reason why I feel like the narcissist is always watching you, because I posted those pictures. Now, I've blocked the narcissist on everything. I blocked her on all of my social medias and all of that kind of stuff. And the only one thing that I do have open, because we do share a child, is the one phone line for us to, like, if she needs to call or if she needs to text. And most of the time I don't even answer calls. Just text me whatever it is that you need to say, so we can keep everything in writing and we can keep everything documented and stuff like that. So, but somehow, some way she, you know, and it could be the fact that my son goes home with her and starts talking about Spider-Man and all of that kind of stuff. So this particular Halloween, my son spent with her. Now, like I said, almost 3 years have gone past, and I haven't seen a picture of, you know, any of the events that they do with my son. I didn't see any of the, you know, the Disney World pictures, any of that kind of stuff. I didn't see any the parties or anything that her family had and he attended, any of that kind of stuff. But this particular Halloween, she dresses my son up as Spider-Man. And I'm guessing she feels like, because that's something that I guess me and my son had been bonding over, and she knows that that's something that me and my son has been bonding over, she takes pictures of my son, and she takes pictures of my son in a Spider-Man costume, and she sends them to me just randomly. That doesn't say, hello, how you doing? She just sends, it's like 2 or 3 pictures of my son in a Spider-Man costume. So me knowing that she's just trying to get attention and she's just trying to get some rise out of me, because, like, why are you starting to send stuff now? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's almost 3 years old, almost 3 years have passed, and I haven't seen one picture of anything that y'all have done with my son. But now all of a sudden, you know, you want to start including me again. And it's like the narcissist knows what you want from jump, from the very beginning. So now they start to try to do the things that you've been asking for the whole time, thinking that I guess it's going to win them some brownie points at this, you know, at this stage in the game. But it's like, man, listen, if you was going to do right by me or the situation or any of that kind of stuff, it would have been done by now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it. But, you know, I guess she feels like, you know, as long as she comes in and does these things, then again, she has plausible deniability. She can go back to her family and say, well, I sent him pictures of our son, you know, with Halloween and everything, and he didn't even respond, that kind of thing. So it's like they're always going to figure out a way to flip it back on you to make it seem like you the asshole and you are the one that is keeping a relationship messed up and you're the reason why things didn't work out in the first place. So the Halloween thing was like the very first thing. And then when I didn't respond to the Halloween thing, my next weekend that I was supposed to have my son, she just out of the blue texts me and says, hey, you know what? He won't be coming over this weekend. I have plans with him, da 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 da. And basically that's, again, remember I said they like to play that hot and cold game. So it was like she was trying to butter me up with the picture of him in the Spider-Man costume, which I love the picture because, I saw my son engage with Spider-Man, but I didn't actually get to see him put the costume on and wear it. And, my son, he's so active and so animated that I know he was just running around and, spraying people with his web and all of that kind of stuff. So I missed all of that. And these are the things that I'm saying, like, because of the way this situation and the circumstances are, these are the things that I've missed in my son's life already. And now all of a sudden she's trying to give me like a glimpse of that, or, and trying to, I guess, get me to lower my guards and open up to the situation again. And I'm just like, man, whatever, because, my son almost 3 now. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had 3 years to do all of these kind of things. You had 3 years to keep me in the loop. And now all of a sudden you want to start keeping me in the loop now. So, like I said, when I didn't respond to the pictures, then it's like, well, I'm not going to bring your son back over here this weekend because I have plans for him, or whatever the case may be. So I don't respond to that. I'm like, okay, number one, I've just gotten to the point where I just document everything. You know what I'm saying? So anytime there's a breach in the parental agreement or anything like that, I just document it. And once I get it documented, I don't need, like, if it's not something that requires a response, I just don't respond to it. So I didn't even really respond to that. I didn't respond to that at all. And so time goes past again, and now Thanksgiving comes. Now Thanksgiving hits, and as soon as Thanksgiving hits, I start getting random text messages from like Google, like these Google voice numbers. You could tell they're like a computer generated number that somebody's using an app, and the messages would just say Happy Thanksgiving. And I'm just like, now, before I understood that the narcissist, like how the narcissist was using social media and technology, the phone and everything, before I started, picking up on that, I would respond to that kind of stuff. And as soon as I would respond, then she would send me a direct message letting me know that it's her, but wouldn't say that it was her directly. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like this cat and mouse game of like trying to get me to respond. And so I stopped responding to like numbers that I don't know. I just started blocking them and all of that kind of stuff. So I blocked mostly every number that I don't know. And then if I see a new number that pops up, I just don't respond to it. Like, and normally it'll start out like, hello, and I'll just, won't respond to it. Or like in this case, it was Happy Thanksgiving, and I didn't respond to it. I just, as soon as I get those texts, I block it and I just move on. And what usually happens is if I block that one, then I'll get another one a few minutes later. I said Happy Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Basically letting me know that this is the same person, and I have just created another number. If you block this one, all I'm gonna do is create another number, and I'm still gonna get the message through. So basically it's like that kind of thing has been going on. So I just did the video. If you guys haven't seen the video where I showed my son's coat where she had spilled all of this oil and all of that kind of stuff over him, and when I went to go pick him up, it basically transferred and got all over me too, you know what I'm saying? So when I came in the house, just go watch that video, y'all. I did a whole video basically saying when the narcissist can't get their way, and you'll see the coat in the very beginning of the video, and it has all of the oil or whatever she poured on the coat, or she let him get into, whatever the case, may be. But she's still the adult in the situation, and she still had control over the situation. So she shouldn't have let it happen. I don't send our son home to her like that with, oil and stuff that's, all over him, or even, you know, I try not to even send him home to her with a dirty pamper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just out of the person that I am, you know what I'm saying? I want to, you know, make sure that I take care, you know, good care of him, and not only take, you know, good care of him, just don't put all the burden on her, even though she's done all of these terrible, horrible things in this situation. I still be trying to look out. You know what I'm saying? I still be trying to, like, you know, do the best by people. You know what I'm saying? So all of these different things started happening back to back to back. And the coat was like the most recent situation, because this was like the last child exchange that we just did over the past weekend where I got my son. So when I got my son this weekend, like I said, he came in and he had oil and just like it smelled and looked like medicated Vaseline, and he had it like all over himself. But when she brought my son from the car up to my house, number one, she normally has him in her arms. This time she had him on the ground and he was walking. It's dark when she walks up, and I didn't have, you know, any of the porch lights or anything like that, because I said in another video that I use the elements, you know what I'm saying? Even in the darkness, like, I use the elements to keep the narcissist out of my business. So when she walks up to my house, I be having all the lights off and all of that kind of stuff, so she can't see what's going on in my house, or, you know, looking through my windows or any of that kind of stuff, trying to gather information. So, you know, I play defense all the way around when it comes down to after I figured out who she was and, you know, the type of stuff that she was capable of doing. So, you know, because I've been like that, I didn't see that my son had all of the stuff all over his face, and I just go and pick him up just like I normally do. And she knows that that's basically what I do every single time. I just reach down, pick him up, and when I pick him up, now I got stuff all over myself. And like I said, I wouldn't have even thought anything about this if she hadn't done that one time before with a birthday cake. She basically smashed my son's whole arm up to here, like in birthday cake, when he was like, this was his first birthday. He was 1 year old. And of course, a baby, he's just slinging cake. So, you know, I had a nice, decent outfit on that day, or whatever the case may be. And my son is just like this, with, you know, hugging on me and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, looking at her like, you did that on purpose. Like, you knew he was gonna, you know, you knew he was gonna mess this whole situation up. Like, you knew, basically, you're grown. You knew that he was going to sling cake everywhere. He's going to get cake on the floor. He's going to get cake on the couch. He's going to get cake everywhere, you know, and including on me, especially if I have him in my arms. So, of course, my son got cake up here on my head, cake all over here, cake down my jacket, cake all on my jeans, everything. And, you know, it's kind of like that narcissistic smirk, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got you. But then when I say something to her about it, it's like, you know, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Why would you go out of your way to, you know what I'm saying? And it would always be like, well, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I didn't know that he was going to do that. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, common sense. But like I said, even that was before I actually knew about narcissism. So I shortly found out about narcissistic personality disorder after his first birthday. And so I've been aware of it for about at least 2 years now. You know, it's been about 2 years. So because I'm in a co-parenting situation, like I said, I just like to give you guys some insight from my own personal experiences, because I'm going through this in real time, basically. And a lot of people, like I said, I've seen a lot of videos that people make, and they are giving you like the definition of what's going on in the holiday Hoover. Like, yeah, basically it's the narcissist trying to find some attention, and they feel like you're going to be vulnerable around holiday time. You know, your kids are in costumes, and you got Christmas coming, and, you know, everybody's in like a cheerful, giving, loving, you know, family type of spirit. And they feel like they're going to utilize this time to weasel their way back into whatever situation that they had going on with you, even if it's not in the same capacity. But even if they can just get you in the bed one time, like, okay, well, you know, maybe he feeling a little froggy today. I can sneak over there, get something real quick. We can get past all of the bullshit that we've been through, and then I can still go run off to the new supply and go finish up doing what I've been doing. Basically, just looking for some more validation. So, like I said, I just wanted to drop this video real quick just to give you guys some insight to some of the things that I've had to actually deal with on like a day-to-day level, dealing with the narcissistic individual and sharing a child with them, and some of the ways that they will continue to just play hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And they continue to, you know, they volleyed us back and forth until they try to get some type of break. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you respond to the negativity, they're gonna run with that. If you respond to the positivity, they're gonna try to run with that and try to properly love bomb you again. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like literally no contact is the only way to go, because anything that you give them, they're going to take it and run with it. So, you know, I just wanted to drop this video real quick. I will definitely be back. I got a few more videos that I want to drop. Hopefully I can get them out today, but I will definitely talk to y'all in a minute. I love you guys, and I will tap in with y'all real soon and just drop some more content for y'all, man. See y'all in a minute.